Hi everyone, it's Andy Zitzmann, founder of the GAMETIME Movement, where I'm on a mission to helping you and 1 million other people step up your game. In this short 3 to 5 minutes every day, I'm going to provide you with inspiration, motivation, and empowering information so that you can wake up, have a little pick-me-up, get fired up so that you step up on a daily basis. So get ready, because it's time, it's your time, it's game time. Hey, what's up everyone? It's Andy Zitzmann and welcome to today's show. We're on day 2 of the new year. That's right, day 2 of the new year. So again, Happy New Year. As I mentioned in yesterday's show, today I'm going to take you through a very in-depth practice that I've been doing for the last 3 years, in terms of reviewing my prior year and then going out and creating excitement, hope, inspiration, and ultimately goals and a plan to accomplish and make an even better year this year. And so I started this in 2013, did it again in 2014, and I'm about to do it again this weekend. So before I even do it, I want to share with you the steps, because I'm going to share with you 12 steps plus one bonus step for you to go out and create the best year yet. And I'm telling you, I have a huge notebook right here, and I can, this is proof, and proof is in the pudding, but I've done this, and I will tell you this, goal setting is really important, but I think reflection is really important. Learning and understanding what how we've developed and what we've learned from and grown from, throughout the whole year is important. But most importantly, it's to get really clear with what's transpired, because it's easy to kind of forget just how magical our lives are, just how amazing things are. Yeah, we might have some struggles and issues as well, and it might have not been a great year for some of us. But at the end of the day, there are many things that have happened that are amazing. There's many things that we've learned, and it's really important to just slow down and take the time to actually appreciate those things, to document those things, and to actually see them on paper so that we can just remind ourselves just how amazing life really is. And in doing so, create that hope, that inspiration, that enthusiasm so that we can go out there and make it the best year yet. So yesterday I gave you just a couple things. It was end one thing, create one thing, and then create the plan. If you're good with that, go for it. As long as you do that, you're going to actually start fresh, start anew, and you're going to be moving forward. However, you want to take it to a whole new level. You want to go deep into your heart, into your soul, and really, really, really take the time to make this year the best year yet. I encourage you to listen to these 12 steps and the bonus step. And then this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, if you got some time, go ahead and do this. I choose to do this after the new year because here's what happens for me. Typically, right before the new year, I'm wrapping up the year. It's busy professionally. I'm busy with my family. I want to be present with those that are around me. And I really want to enjoy the holidays and the sports and the football and all that stuff going on. And I just, for many years, going into the new year, I'd create some, quick frivolous goals, and then I never stuck to them. And so when I implemented this process of going deep, and I implemented after the new year, when all the hype and all the hoopla was done, I was able to actually go deeper into my heart, into my soul, and actually create an amazing, amazing plan for the year. So without further ado, I want to share with you exactly what I do. And so just so you know who I've pulled these things from, I've kind of taken the best of the best. I've learned some things from Tony Robbins. I've learned some things from Darren Hardy from Success Magazine, Brendan Burchard, Robin Sharma. These are just a few of the people. And then also, a really good friend of mine, Catherine Hummel, JC, if she's out there, and my fiance, Leanna. And so all those people together have helped me develop this process, and I've just taken the best of the best and done what works for me. So I'm going to share it with you today. So here we go. The first thing that you want to do to create the best year yet in 15 is, number one, go and get a journal, okay? And I encourage you to get a big one, because once you do this, if you do this, you're going to do it next year, you're going to do it the year after, and I get to go back and revisit 2013, 2012, 2014, and I get to see all the stuff that's happened, and I'll tell you, it's freaking amazing. I encourage you to get a big journal. Number one. So the first step that you do, number one, is magic moments. Get really clear and just review review 2014 and write down all the magic moments, everything that was special that happened, personally, professionally, everything. Just go to every area of your life and your business and write down all the magic moments, right? So for me in 2014, some of my magic moments. 1, I got engaged to my lovely Leanna. 2, I launched this amazing podcast. 3, I got to work with some amazing coaches, Nick Unsworth and Andy Enriquez. 4, I got to actually, meet my new business partner, AJ Amex. 5, I've had people reach out to me and tell me, Andy, you're really helping me with the podcast. 6, I've actually had the ability to spend a lot of time with my with Leanna's parents, my new future mother-in-law and father-in-law. They got to visit twice. It was amazing. 7, I got to go and talk to my see my mom in Michigan and talk to my mom and spend some time with her. And she got to come here as well. 8, my sister moved to Florida. My sister, my twin brother, my dad are all here in Florida together now after being apart for many, many years, living in different cities. I mean, these are just a few off the top of my head. And I'm telling you, there are so many more. Get clear. Number 1, magic moments. Write down all your magic moments. Number 2, write down your accomplishments. Now, I know this seems kind of basic, but write down all the things that you accomplished in 2014 and go deep. Take some time and spend some time thinking, because there are quite a few of accomplishments, probably a lot of small accomplishments that we overlook sometimes. And so especially if you had a little bit of a rough year, or maybe the year didn't end on the note that you wanted it to, it's really important to go back and remind yourself of all the things you did accomplish, all the things you do have, and to bring a little bit of gratitude into that, and to really get clear with your accomplishments. So number 2 is accomplishments. Number 3 is failures and mistakes. Now I know, it's tough to really document and be honest with ourselves about our failures and our mistakes, but take some time, and number 3, write down your failures, your mistakes, the struggles, the challenges you've had, all the things that were, somewhat negative, maybe the things that you hated about 2014, but write them down and get them really clear on paper. And here's why, because number 4 is lessons learned. And so when we go into number 4, you want to go in and just really document, what did you learn? I mean, here's the reality, right? Life is all about growth and learning. That's the journey. The journey is all about the growth and the learning, not necessarily the results. And so you want to get really clear with, what were some of the failures and mistakes you had? So for me, I'll be honest, you know what? Some of my failures and mistakes this year were, I didn't do everything I said I would do when it came to my business. I didn't follow through all the way on a few things. Another area was, I could have been a better partner to Leanna. Yeah, sure, I was good in some areas, but not so great in others. And, I'll tell you, for me, Leanna is my first very healthy, mature relationship. And I've struggled. I've had some challenges. I've had some character defects or behaviors that I really got to focus on. And so going into 2015, I'm able to look at that and say, what did I learn from this? And fortunately, I have a great partner in Leanna who's helping me learn from those and giving me the patience, to help me, work on those things. But it's really important, again, get clear with your failures and your mistakes and your struggles and your challenges in 2014, so that when you go into 4, lessons learned, you can really, get the most out of that. I mean, the worst thing in life is to make a mistake or to have a failure and not learn from it, or to blame other people. That is the thing. So you really want to go through your lessons learned in 2014, and you'll be shocked at what you did learn and how much you grew. And then number 5, and this is where you close out 2014. We're going to start moving into 2015. But number 5 is empowering decisions. So what empowering decisions did you make in 2014 that really moved you forward? Get clear with some of those decisions. List at least 3 to 5 really empowering decisions. For me, doing this podcast was a huge empowering decision, because originally I was only going to do it a couple times a week, and I was going to do it in a different format. And what I realized was, not only do I want to serve the audience and people that want inspiration and motivation, but I also wanted to serve myself, to give myself the ability to force myself to practice every day in front of the camera and to get better and better, so that ultimately one day I'll be a pro, And so that was a huge empowering decision. Okay, now we're going to go into 2015. You had 5 steps. And by the way, I will recap these steps on the show notes. Go to GAMETIMEMovement.com/podcast. check out today's episode, okay? And I will have all of this listed out so that you can print it out if you'd like and really just make sure you can go through this. The sixth step, going into 2015, the sixth step is write down all the things that seemed impossible at one point in your life. All the dreams, the goals, the desires that you had that once seemed impossible. Many of them you may have already accomplished, and some of them maybe you have not. But all the things at one time just seemed impossible. So for me, I wrote down things like, having a condo off the beach. That seemed impossible when I was a young kid. I wrote down, being a pro basketball player. That seemed impossible at one point in my life. I wrote down, having a multi-million-dollar business. That seemed impossible at one point in my life. And I'm pretty sure the pro basketball thing ain't gonna happen, but the multi-million-dollar business, the condo off the beach, and all those things, have happened or are about to happen. And so I gotta tell you, you just gotta get real clear with all the things that seemed impossible. Then write down all the big life goals that you still have and that you want to have over the next, let's say 20 years or just for your entire life. Just write down all the possibilities, all the big ass goals. That's number 7. All your big ass goals that you have for your life. Just write them down. I don't want you to do anything but write them down and then put a number next to that goal. And that number is going to represent the amount of years it will take for you to reach that goal. Okay, so perhaps you have a goal to live in Spain for a year. Well, when are you going to accomplish that? Is that this year? Is it in 3 years? Or is it in 5 years? And now here's the reason why I want you to do this, because the reality is you're going to use this again. You're going to review it year after year after year. And you want to remind yourself, some of these big goals, if you're falling behind, you got to remind yourself the time frame you committed to and make sure you pivot and make the adjustments to achieve these goals, because we all know this, right? Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We only get one go around, and it's really important for any goal to have a time frame associated with it. Otherwise, we'll never get it done. Okay, so now moving on. Now moving really specifically into 2015. Step number 8 is write down all the big ideas you have for 2015. All the big ideas, the things you want to get out there and do, all of them. You could have 20, you could have 30, you might just have 10, but write down all the big ideas. Maybe some of the big ideas are things you're going to do with your health. Maybe some of the big ideas are things that you want to do in your business. Maybe some of the big ideas are how you want to improve your relationships. Just write down all the big ideas. Maybe there's events you want to go to. Maybe there's speaking engagements you want to do. Maybe there's a new business you want to create. Maybe you want to have a baby. Whatever it may be, write down all the big ideas for 2015. And then in number 9, write down all the resources available to you to help you get those big ideas done, right? So these resources would be people, right? So maybe it's videos that you go and watch on YouTube that inspire and motivate you. Maybe it's a blog or a newsletter or a magazine that you read that really pumps you up and educates you. Maybe it's some books that that you've started but haven't finished but you got to get through. Maybe it's some coaches, or trainers or consultants, people that you can work with. We call these mentors, right? Maybe there's a mentor out there. Communities. What communities are available to you so that, this is basically all about reinforcement, right? That can reinforce you, and help you move forward and get you to where you want to go. Write down all the resources available to you to help you get to where you want to go. That's number 9. And then number 10, theme and practice. So you got to create a theme. It's so important. So take down, and number 10, create a theme for the year. So for instance, in 2013, my theme was cement the foundation. I'd left the corporate world, I was starting a coaching business, and I wanted to cement the foundation, not only in my coaching skills, but with my business. And so that's exactly what, my theme was. And lo and behold, I invested in a coaching practice. I created a business, but I also got certified. I invested in a community and in a group coaching program to get myself certified in life and career coaching. And I did those things. I cemented the foundation. And then in 2014, last year, my theme was an acronym, and I encourage you to create an acronym if you can. But it was FICC: focus, intention, consistent, commitment. Focus, intention, consistent commitment. Because I wanted those 4 words to be the words that I lived by each and every day, each and every week. And so that was my theme in 2014. And this year, 2015, my theme again is an acronym, and it is DEJDTW. DE, daily execution. That is going to be my theme. Consistency and daily execution are like so big in anything, and I'll tell you more about that in a second. But daily execution, and then JDTW, just do the work. Daily execution, just do the work. Daily execution, just do the work. That is what I'm committed to doing this year. I am going to get out there and execute day after day after day, because you know what? I did some big things in 2013. I did some even bigger things in 2014. And now I know that ultimately for me to go from where I am and have the exponential growth in my business, in my personal life, in my relationship, it's going to be all about daily execution, consistency, and just doing the work. One of the things that I think a lot of people forget is that you can learn to overcome fear. You can have confidence. You can be courageous. You can be talented. You can have a message. You can have a great business. But the reality is that consistency will be the number one thing that will lead to you reaching your true potential. And so for me, that's what 2015 is all about. So number 10 is have a theme. And then number 11, here's where we break it down. We've done all of this reflection. We've created some inspiration, some hope. We've created a theme. We're feeling really connected now to what we accomplished, the mistakes we made, the lessons learned, the theme that we're going to have going into 2015, the big ideas we got, the resources available to us, and now it's time to focus. So number 11 is write down your top 3 to 5 goals. Just 3 to 5. I'd encourage you to stick to 3, but if you got to go 5, fine. But having 10, having 20, it's too many goals. You're not going to achieve all those things. You may achieve those things, but you got to make sure that you at least achieve the top 3 to 5, top 3 to 5. And so here's what you do. Write down those top 3 to 5, and then for each one of them, you're going to do 3 more things. You're going to write down why. What's your big ass reason? Why? Why must you accomplish this goal? Write down your why, number 1. Number 2 is how. This is how are you going to get there? What's the plan? What are the steps? Break it down into chunks, month by month, week by week, and just make sure that you write down and get clear with how you're going to get there. And then number 3, put a time frame on it. You got to put a deadline, And so if you were to have a really big reason why, create that plan step by step, the how, and 3, have a time frame, a deadline, you are going to be well on your way to accomplishing those top 3 to 5 goals, okay? So that's number 11. Number 12, and the final step is once you've done all this work, and I'm telling you, this is work. It's going to take you a few hours. Hopefully you're willing to spend 2 hours to create the best freaking year of your life. And number 12, once you've done all that work and you've written it down, I want you to close the book, just put it down, and just take some time to visualize. I want you to see yourself accomplishing those 3 to 5 goals. I want you to, just put yourself in that place where you've already accomplished it, and just, take the time to see, what does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like? How do you feel inside? Put yourself in that position, already accomplishing those top 3 to 5 goals. Visualize it and just see how that feels. Do that for each one of those goals, because here's the deal. When you see it, you can be it. And when you can be it, you're going to do it. And when you do it, ultimately you'll have it. See, be, do, have. Everyone wants to have first and then be something. No. When you visualize your success, the chances of you showing up and actually accomplishing them go up dramatically. So visualize is the final and last step. Tap into that heart, tap into that soul, see yourself doing it, see it, believe it, and you will achieve it. One of my favorite quotes, whatever the mind of man or woman can conceive and find itself to believe, it can achieve. And you will achieve your goals and dreams if you take the time to do this work and do the visualization. All right, and then the bonus, the last thing is I want you to ask the question to yourself. This is so important. Life is supposed to be fun, supposed to be passionate, supposed to be enthusiastic. And so I want you to ask the last question after you visualize all this stuff is how can you make it fun? How can you make 2015 more fun? Because you know what? None of this is worth it if you're not enjoying the process, if you're not enjoying your life, if you're not enjoying your business, if you're not enjoying your health, if if you're not enjoying your relationships. None of this is worth it. So the bonus question going into 2015, how can you make this fun? Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate all of you for being part of this movement. I hope you take the time to do this process. I'm going to be doing it this weekend with you. So virtually we'll all be together doing this process. But you know it's time. You know it's your time to create and make 2015 your best year yet. It's game time. Hey, thanks for tuning in today, and thanks for stepping up your game. Here's what you can do to spread the movement. Go to GAMETIMEMovement.com and be sure to share your Game Time moment of the day, your GMOTD, so that others will feel compelled to share their Game Time moments too. And if you haven't already, subscribe on iTunes or Stitcher Radio, and please be so kind to leave a rating and review so that we can reach 1 million people and encourage them to step up their game too. This is Andy Zitzmann, reminding you it's your time, it's game time. Till next time.